Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into how artificial intelligence is, well, quietly taking over the factory floor. And no, we're not talking about sci-fi robots here. This is about a seriously powerful new tool that's making production smarter, faster, and way more efficient. But to really get a handle on its power, we first have to talk about a massive, kind of hidden risk that's lurking in almost every manufacturing plant out there.
So think about your own workplace for a second. Is there that one person, the master scheduler, the veteran who just knows how everything works? They've got the entire production plan living inside their head. I mean, it's an incredible skill for sure, but it is also a huge risk. What happens if they go on vacation? Or worse, what happens when they retire? This total reliance on what some people call tribal knowledge is honestly one of the biggest weak spots in modern manufacturing.
And that right there, that reliance on a single expert, it really gets to the heart of the modern factory's dilemma. It's this constant, high-stakes balancing act.
At its core, production management is basically a three-way tug of war. You've got quality on one rope, cost on another, and delivery time on the third. We call it QCD. Nailing that balance is everything, right? But as supply chains get crazier and more complex, trying to manage all that manually, well, it's becoming pretty much impossible.
Okay, so this is where you bring in a new team member. Except instead of a person, it's AI. Let's forget all the complex techie stuff for a minute and just think of AI as your newest, most powerful coworker. This is the one that can process millions of data points in seconds, all to help you make smarter, better decisions. So what does this new coworker actually do? Well, it really has two main skills. The first one is predicting. It uses machine learning to look at all your past data to forecast what's probably going to happen next. But the second skill, this is arguably the more powerful one, is deciding. Using something called mathematical optimization, it takes that prediction and then calculates the single best way to act on it. So one skill tells you what's coming, and the other gives you the perfect plan to deal with it.
Theory is great, but where does this AI coworker actually clock in on the factory floor? Let's take a look at 4 key jobs it's already doing right now.
First up, production planning. So instead of everything being in one expert's brain, AI builds the best possible schedule that anyone can use. Second, equipment maintenance. This is cool. It can predict when a machine is about to fail before it actually breaks, saving you a ton of money and downtime. Third, you've got quality inspection. AI's digital eye can spot tiny defects that a human might easily miss, which really boosts your quality. And finally, inventory management. It forecasts demand with incredible accuracy, so you're not wasting money on overstock or, losing sales because you ran out of something.
Now, all of this sounds pretty amazing, right? And it is, but let's be real for a second. Bringing AI into your operations isn't as simple as just flipping a switch. There are definitely trade-offs. It's that classic case of the promise versus the price.
So the upsides, they are huge. AI can help fill labor gaps, it can perfect your scheduling, and it gets rid of those risky knowledge silos we talked about. It really gives you precise control. But on the other side of the coin, the challenges are very real. The initial costs can be high, for sure. Getting your team to adapt to totally new ways of working takes time and effort. And, this is a big one, it takes time to train the AI before you really start to see a return on that investment.
So knowing all the pros and cons, how do you actually get started? I mean, how do you go from just thinking about AI to successfully using it on your factory floor? Well, the good news is there's a pretty clear 4-step blueprint you can follow.
It all starts with purpose. Don't just go out and buy AI. You need to define the exact problem you want to solve, like, say, reducing your delivery delays. Second, you have to match the solution to your budget and your company's size. A giant complex AI system might be total overkill for a smaller operation. Third, and listen, this one is non-negotiable. Your system folks and your production folks have to work together. The people who actually use the tool have to be on the same page as the people who are implementing it. And finally, you've got to have the right talent. That might mean training your current staff or hiring new experts who can actually manage and maintain this new system.
And that brings us to our final and honestly probably the most important point of this whole discussion. To really, truly unlock the power of AI in manufacturing, you have to understand that not all AI is created equal. There's a critical, game-changing difference between just predicting something and actually optimizing your response to it.
And look, this difference is dramatic when you see it in action. A standard scheduling tool might take an hour to spit out a plan that, still needs a bunch of manual tweaks, but an optimization AI, this thing can generate a plan that's just as good as, or often even better than, a human expert's, and it does it in like 10 minutes.
And the best part? It almost never needs manual changes because it finds the absolute best answer right from the get-go.
So to put it really simply, a prediction AI, that's your forecaster. It looks at all the data and it says, okay, based on everything I know, I predict you're going to need to produce about 30,000 units this month. And that right there, that's incredibly valuable information to have. But an optimization AI, man, it takes it one giant leap further. It takes that prediction and it gives you the definitive answer. It says, okay, to make those 30,000 units with the lowest possible cost and absolutely zero delivery delays, here is the single best mathematically proven production plan. It doesn't just give you data, it gives you the decision.
So here's the bottom line. The real revolution of AI in manufacturing isn't just about seeing the future a little more clearly. It's about having a tool that can analyze millions of different possibilities in seconds and help you choose the absolute best one. It's a shift from just forecasting to actually deciding. So the only question left, really, is this. Is your factory ready to make that choice?